Everyone, so I wasn't planning on recording today. It's actually my birthday. I'm filming this on July 11th. I felt like things were just good today. Energy's good. I feel good, so let's just go ahead and do it. Truthfully, I did not feel like getting all dolled up for you guys today. I just didn't want to do it. So I am wearing a t-shirt that I got on a high school field trip like 6 years ago. No regrets. This week for our reading, I'm going to be using two completely different decks than I used last week because that's just the kind of person I am. We're going to be using the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards, and then we are going to be pulling a card from the Power Animal Oracle Cards deck by Stephen Farmer. Oh, and these, I didn't tell you who these were by, Tori Hartman. So let's go ahead and get into it. Also, if anyone is wondering, I know I had talked about this whole idea of a podcast about a month ago. It is something I still very much want to do. It's just being held up at the moment, I think, for this, honestly. So that is something I'm still doing. It's a process. So again, this is our reading for the week of July 16th, 2017. If it feels right for you, just take a few deep breaths, get yourself centered, get yourself calmed down. I think I mentioned this in the last video maybe, but I don't think we realize how awesome deep breaths are until we take them when we haven't taken them in a while. So go ahead and just take some deep breaths. It feels great and it only takes a few seconds. So let's go ahead and pull some cards from our Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. I forget what they're called. I know it's something with chakra in them, but I just kind of like to call them my chakra cards, quite honestly. So there's a feeling this week. Well, first of all, everyone's kind of tired, I think. Not just tired in a physical sense, but tired in a sense of being tired of everything that's going on in their lives, and there's gonna be this need to discern what is serving you and what is not, and deciding what you deserve and what you don't deserve to put up with. And by that I mean like what you deserve good coming to you and what you don't deserve to be coming at you. So might be some boundaries we're going to have to set in the next month or so, but really this week is kind of like the realization of it and everything maybe coming to a head. I know that is probably the energy that was going on last weekend, especially with the full moon, but now that we've had some time for it to simmer, we're really going to start looking at the logistics of it. What happened? Why did it happen? What was my thought process? What was their thought process? Are they toxic? Can I keep doing this? Can I keep putting up with this? Or am I going to have to make some changes? Okay. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and I guess 4. And then the card on the bottom. So the card on the bottom, just as an overall theme of what's kind of going on, impasse. So, guys and ladies, I didn't mean that just like for the male gender, someone's not moving. Someone's not budging. So if you're looking for a sign that someone's not going to change, here's your sign. They're not. When we are really involved with people close to us, it's really easy to get sucked into the cycles that they put us through, especially when this person is toxic. And it's really easy a lot of the time to hold on to this hope that they're going to change. Realistically, a lot of the time, they don't change. And you sticking around enables them because they know they can do whatever they want. They can treat you however they want to. They can say whatever they want to, and you'll still be there. Just throwing that out there. So the first card to start off our week is going to be Despondence. So this is someone, maybe you, a lot of us, being in this mode of learned helplessness. So we see what we are given, we see our situation, we see the people around us, the way that they've been, the way that they've been acting, people's patterns, and we are in this place where we kind of feel that, oh, this is the way it's always going to be. I'm helpless. I can't control this, but I have to stay here. I have to put up with it. There's this sense of, yeah, okay. There's this sense of giving up power over your own behaviors and actions. Um, there is a, oh, that's what it was. Thank you. There's a difference between surrendering to a situation and letting someone walk all over you, right? So we hear a lot, especially in the spiritual world, that it's good to surrender in order to accept circumstances and in order to move on, right? Surrendering is great. It feels great, just to say sometimes, this is out of my control. I'm doing the best that I can and let the universe take it from there. However, surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Surrendering doesn't mean willingly choosing to give up your autonomy because something is really hard to deal with, or something in order to move on from is going to take a lot of courage from you. It seems like there are a lot of people that are using this idea of surrender in order to dodge accountability and dodge responsibility in a situation, especially in a relationship or relationships. Even though a situation might suck, a person might suck, there's always something that you can do to help yourself. So while it's good to reach out to the universe and the world and say, please show me signs, please give me guidance, you are the one who has to do the action. So if someone in your life is toxic, for example, you do have the choice whether or not you feed this person's ego. You have a choice as to whether you stick around, whether or not you put up with it, whether or not you create boundaries. So I don't want to go on and on too much about this because this is only our first card, but just keep this in mind that this is sort of where we're at. As we move through the week, we have wisdom. So someone's going to say something to you, or someone's going to do something, or you're going to see something, or going to witness something, and it's going to make something click for you. It might be the actions of this toxic person. It might be some higher wisdom that you get from someone. Or if you're like in therapy, it could be a counselor. If you see a doctor, it could be a doctor. If you are in school and you have teachers or professors, it could be one of them. Someone around you is going to say something and you're going to apply it to something much bigger than what their purpose of saying it is. If that makes sense. If that happens for you this week, don't please do not brush that off. Because even if the thing itself isn't logical or doesn't really make sense, the feeling that you get when you have that aha moment, those emotions that you feel, that sense of connectedness or that sense of your soul saying yes to something, that is valid. And that is your intuition telling you that what you are thinking is legitimate. So please don't ignore that, because your intuition and the way that your heart interprets things is so much more important than anything anyone could tell you, any logic your ego mind can, think of in your head and how to interpret something. So please just keep that in mind and don't ignore that this week. Okay. Our third card John's home, that's the garage door, and Shadow freaks out when he hears the garage door, so I apologize. Our third card for the week is recovery. This is it is. It's like a beacon of hope, because when we decide that we need to make changes in our lives, especially in really important areas of our lives like relationships. It takes a lot out of us. It takes a lot of courage, energy. It takes a lot of planning. And there, after we make these changes, after we do what we need to do, we get out what we need to get out, or even before that, even just the process of thinking about it and considering it is so heartbreaking sometimes. It's so hard to deal with and to even fathom that we would have to not cut people out of our lives, but maybe there's a sense of recovery that needs to be had. And recovery doesn't, and it shows here like a guide or someone like blowing a magic key to someone that just like is gonna unlock the door and make everything, fix everything and make everything great. But this key doesn't really exist. There's no one fix-all solution to everything. It's a lot more than that. It's gonna take a lot of self-love and understanding and processing with people that are close to you. It takes a lot to recover from something like what you've experienced, because I feel like for a lot of us, this isn't going to be something that happens really quick. It's not going to be regarding someone that you've only known for a short while. These are deeply seated patterns. This is a lot of deep-seated anger and resentment and just a lot of history. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's not something that someone is going to be able to take lightly. Whatever you are feeling as you go through this process of looking at patterns and realizing what's going on and trying to develop boundaries and planning and processing, anything you're feeling, anything you're going through is completely okay. And I feel like there are going to be a lot of people that maybe don't identify with this reading, and that's okay, because the people that it is going to hit home with are really going to need to hear this, because this is some hard stuff. And if you're going through it, you're going through it. If you're not, you're not. But this could also be like employers. A lot of employers are toxic. So many people. It's amazing what power will do to people, So just keep it in mind, that while it might not apply to a relationship for you, it might apply in other areas of your life. Just keep an open mind. Okay, so our final card that I was kind of, I guess, guided to pull at the last second, oh, hi, Shadow, is vanity. Don't ever be afraid to handle a situation the way that your soul needs you to handle it, just because you're afraid of how other people will think about you. You are doing the best you can with what you have. And that's all you can do. And if you look to other people like you're crazy, or you're oversensitive, or you can't handle it, or, a lot of times when you're in a toxic relationship, people on the other person's side will say, oh, she's just a bitch. She needs to just distance herself because she's a cold-hearted bitch and she doesn't care about you anymore. But in reality, we're taking care of ourselves. And you have the right to take care of yourself. It might hurt a little bit, it might sting a little bit, but it's going to show you who you can trust and who you can't. And I'm sure at a point in their lives when they experience something like this, because I think everyone does, they'll understand exactly what you were going through. And they might experience it with that same person that you had to cut ties with. Okay, so getting into our last oracle card here. God, this is taking forever. I know I said before that the readings weren't going to be that long. I lied. I'm just trying to get out as much as I can. Okay. Ooh. Flipped out of me. Dragonfly. You know who you really are. So we talked about this a little bit with the Despondence card, being under the illusion that we need to be helpless or that we need to put up with someone. This too is about the illusion of who we think we're supposed to be. There's a lot of pressure, especially on women, to have perfect relationships, to interact perfectly with everyone, to be empathetic toward everyone, to be nice, to apologize, to not stand up for ourselves, often when we need to. And a lot of us live by this illusion our entire lives. We live in this box. I mean, the reality is the box is always changing, and we never know where the goalposts are, and we never know who we're supposed to be or what we're supposed to do, but yet we're always expected to do that. It's insane. So, but you know what steps you're going to have to take in order to step into your true self. And that includes dealing with these toxic relationships and toxic situations. We all tend to delude ourselves very often, especially when it comes to our physical appearance. These obsessions are going to have to be broken because they're not who you really are, and they're only contributing to the illusion of who you think you're supposed to be. So if there's anything in your life, any habits that you have that you engage in because you think that those habits are making you into someone that other people would like more, knock it off. Because at the end of the day, I know this sounds cheesy, but you're the only one who can be you, right? And the people in your life that choose to be around you and love you, they love you for who you are. They don't love you because you strive really hard to make everyone like you. This week, we're going to break illusions, right? We're going to realize what we actually deserve. We're going to start thinking about how we can create better boundaries in our lives. We're going to realize that, maybe not realize, but we're going to keep in mind that it doesn't matter how you look to other people while you're taking care of yourself and doing what's best for you. I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.